Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Ishvara Guratmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomabda Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sava Vedanta Sedanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramananta Satguru Pranatosh Maham Om Shanti 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 Om. Namaste and welcome to our Viveka Chudamani. We last week we stopped at the verse 7-6. The difference between the individual and the total is caused by the difference in Upadhis. Maya is the Upadhi of Ishvara, which is the cause of the total. And the 5 sheets are the Upadhi of the individual. So we unfolded and covered quite extensively this verse, but somehow when I start going through the commentaries in the text in the book, we stopped halfway. So then just make a little condensation or a little synthesis, or how you say, summary of this what we have viewed already. So the difference between the individual and the total there refers to a totality or Brahman manifested as Ishvara, the so-called universe or the cosmos, the totality of the manifestation. So the difference between this small little thing called the jiva and the totality of the entire manifestation is caused by the difference in upadhis. Okay, so Maya is the upadhi for the totality. Ishvara there is the name given to Brahman manifest as the universe. So Maya is the upadhi of Ishvara, the cause of the total. In the same way, the 5 sheets are the upadhi of the individual. Okay, so it means to say that the individual and the total, they are only different as far as their upadhis. Okay, the total has Maya as its upadhi, and the individual has the 5 sheets, or from another angle, it has the subtle body as its upadhi. The 5 sheets is what constitute the jiva, the subtle body, with all its qualities and properties and attributes, is what constitute the individual. So likewise, both are consciousness, but Maya serves as the reflecting, so to speak, apparatus. So Maya is going to be the reflector on which Ishvara shines as the creator. And the upadhis, or the subtle body, with all its functions, it appears to be the reflector in which the individual comes into existence. Both are just upadhis fundamentally. The totality represented by as Ishvara, and the individual, both are nothing but consciousness awareness, right? So we have gone through some of this. If anybody has anything to say or any question or any doubt, if we need to go a little bit more into the concept of upadhi. Did I freeze?
Yeah. I just, what you just said, could you put it in the context of like the projector and the screen analogy? Like, I'm trying to remember, like the screen, is that analogous with Ishvara or with Maya? I'm not sure. I thought Maya would be the projection,
well,
and the screen would be Ishvara, but maybe I've got that wrong.
Well, the analogy of the screen and the projector, the light of the projector and the field, okay? So those go to, let's say, the film is Maya, and then the projector and the light of the projector is Ishwara, and then the movie that we see on the screen is the universe manifest, with all its objects, dynamically dancing, but all of that happens or comes into existence within the scope of the screen of consciousness. All happens in consciousness. It's all a projection within consciousness, right? So consciousness is the screen. And then we can make in this kind of analogy, you can represent Maya as the film, and then Ishvara as the projection, and the project image as the project names and forms, meaning to say the universe of infinite numbers of objects as the movie, you understand? The show. Does it cover it?
Wait, you just said Maya is the field? How does that fit into the analogy? I'm not
No,
sure.
no. Maya is the film. So we need a film.
I'm sorry, the film.
We need a
Film.
film.
You're saying the film. I'm hearing field, and I didn't understand the field.
No,
So I just
the
it's
film,
understanding
and then
the word. Sorry.
Ishvara would be the projector, okay, and then the screen is consciousness, and the project show would be samsara or mithya or the universe. Which is a different analogy from what we are seeing on this verse. In this verse, we are looking at the Upadhis, okay? Upadhis, the Upadhi is something that, due to its close proximity to something else, appears to gain some transferred attributes and qualities which do not belong to itself, but belongs to the other thing, And the classic example is the red rose, that in close approximation of a crystal, a clear crystal, it transfers its redness to the crystal, okay? That is due to its close proximity. So now we have the crystal, and the crystal appears as if it has its property, the same properties of the rose, such as the redness. So the same way, consciousness close to Maya, you understand? To Maya, it appears to take all the qualities of Maya and become Ishvara, okay? Becomes the universe manifest, okay? So consciousness is attributeless, but in close proximity to the attributes of Maya, the three energies, you understand? It appears as Ishvara, the Lord of the universe, which manifests as the universe, okay? So likewise, the Jiva has another kind of Upadhi. So the Upadhi of the Jiva is what? Is the 5 sheets in this analogy. We are looking to the 5 sheets. Yeah? So due to Jivas, which is nothing but consciousness, Jiva is reflect consciousness, but it reflects on those 5 sheets, or reflects on the subtle body. You understand? There are different ways of looking at it. But Jiva is a phenomenon of consciousness in association with the 3 bodies, or in association with the 5 sheets, in association with the energies that constitute what we call Jiva, the 3 bodies of the Jiva, or the 5 sheets. The consciousness with in association with this energy aspect of the Jiva, energy matter. The 3 bodies are made out of matter. They are inert matter. But when it's in close proximity, and then the Jiva Atma appears as colored by the attributes of this body-mind construct. You understand? This subtle body, or these 5 sheets, is what going to make each Jiva distinct from every other Jiva, because of the attributes of this flower, the attributes of the rose. You understand? And then the jiva, which is free of attributes, appears as having all these attributes, appears as if it borrows the attributes of the 5 sheets. The same way the crystal appears as if borrowing the attributes of the color of the rose, which is altogether a different analogy from the analogy of Maya Ishvara as the film, the projector, and the movie project on the screen, which screen goes for consciousness. Right, Dave? It's important we understand this concept of.
Yeah, it's a little difficult because you are breaking up quite a bit for me, and so I'm getting like every fourth or fifth word is lost, and so it's a little it's just having a little trouble following. Sorry.
And how about everybody else? I'm breaking for everyone.
Yes, a little bit.
Okay.
A bit for me too, but I can comprehend.
You can make sense of it. Okay.
She's smarter than I am.
Okay.
She's a more alert intellect.
No, I mean, for example, Mark has a kind of poor internet signal. Maybe the communication between me and Mark is more difficult, but Ruth may have a very good internet signal, and then it compensates for my poor. It could be that as well, or not.
Yeah, it's difficult for me, Arlinda. I can hear about half of what you're saying.
Oh, too bad. Too bad.
We can try to shut down the video. Maybe can try without video. Let's see if it can be better.
Let's remove the videos if it's. How do I remove the video? Stop video. Okay. Okay, we go with audio only. Okay. Okay. So let's do like this. Let's try to keep only my video. Okay.
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 Okay, and but it could be we have to turn yours off and too. So we'll see.
Okay. Can you see me? You see me big on the screen?
I see you in gallery mode. So
okay.
Yeah. Now, yeah.
And now? Do you see me big now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I can still see you well, Arlinda.
Okay, now let's see if the audio gets better and more clear right now. Okay, so Dave, what is unclear for you in regards to those analogy, the Upadhi concept and the other analogy of the projector on the screen, with the screen being consciousness?
Okay, what I'm hearing is the analogy is between the crystal and the jiva. So the crystal and the jiva. So the crystal, a clear crystal, reflects or borrows the color from the red rose or for whatever is in proximity to it.
Yeah.
And then the jiva.
What is the redness in the case of the jiva? The jiva borrows the redness, and what stands for the redness in the case of the jiva when we make a parallel of that analogy between the crystal and the rose, the red rose, and the jiva, and the upadhi by which the jiva borrows certain attributes and qualities. What is the redness in the case of the jiva?
Well, my understanding, you were saying that the 5 sheets
The five
whereas,
sheets.
whereas
Yeah.
the, yeah, it's hard because to me, like the crystal borrows from a red rose. Red rose is an object, and like a solid object. But the five sheets always appear to me
Yeah.
to
But
be more of a mind, more,
yeah.
not
Well,
really having physical characteristics.
Yeah, but you agree that in both cases we are dealing with object, a subtle object
Yes.
and a gross object. But we know that
Yes.
the physical body, the five sheets, let's take the five sheets. The physical body is defined by its attributes and qualities and constitutions, right? Which is deeply conditioned by the gunas, right, to begin with. Okay, so we know that the body is a constitution of different qualities, energies, and attributes, and so on. So we know that the physical body is stuffed with qualities and properties. So the jiva is going to appear as colored by some of the attributes of the physical body. Now, when we look at the physiological system or the prana body of the individual, every individual has a different prana body. The pranas, the air, the vital air, it's distinct from individual to individual. Some of these, fundamentally, the pranas, they are highly conditioned by Raja. There is a huge predominance of intelligent Raja that knows how to activate and regulate and operate this machinery called the human body, So, and also to activate the subtle body, the prana is also needed for the subtle body. So we have all of that contained in the subtle body, the pranas, the mind, the intellect, the memory. All of this is different from jiva to jiva, right? Why it's different? It's different because every subtle body, which includes the pranas, the mind and the intellect and the ego, every jiva has a different constitution, qualities, properties, attributes. Every jiva is different. And every one of these five sheets of every jiva is going to be different because Ishwara never repeats the same flower, never repeats 2 flakes of snow. You understand? So why everything is different? And then what the jiva is going to be? It's going to be consciousness due to the proximity of this body-mind complex. It's going to appear as taking or borrowing the attributes which belongs to this inert body-mind complex. This body-mind construct is made out of energy / matter. It's all matter. It's grossified matter in the case of the grossified energy, and subtle matter in the case of the subtle body and its functions. But it's all energy matter, energy / matter. So we have this thing, and then consciousness associated to these 5 sheets, it presents itself as if it borrowed the qualities and properties, borrowed the readiness of the rose called the body-mind complex. So imagine that the body-mind complex is a rose and it has its specific color, okay? And then what's going to happen to the crystal? What's going to happen to consciousness once consciousness associates with a certain body-mind construct? It produces the jiva, and the jiva is going to apparently borrow the readiness of this body-mind construct. So the readiness of the body-mind construct are all the attributes, okay, of these 5 sheets, of these 3 bodies. You understand? So that which makes a jiva is this constitution that we can classify as the 3 bodies or 5 sheets, okay? So every jiva is going to be a totally different configuration, and that is going to be transferred to consciousness. The consciousness is going to appear as the jiva atma, which borrowed, appears to have borrowed the readiness of the 5 sheets. You understand better now, David?
I guess it's a matter of opinion whether I understand it better or not. What I'm kind of struck with is that the jiva is the jiva atma is the self. It's like the clear self. It's pure consciousness.
Yeah.
And the jiva is absolutely pure and clear until it starts, and then it reflects the five sheaths, these individual attributes, and that's what colors it.
Yeah.
So
fundamentally,
but it's, I really like the concept that the jiva, in its pure sense, with the five sheaths were not there, then it would be absolutely be clear. It would be the self. It's the same as the self.
Yeah, but we cannot remove the five.
Yeah.
We cannot remove the five sheets except in our understanding. We cannot remove the redness that appears in the crystal unless, except in our understanding that redness is a upadhi, is an illusion, you understand? So the same way we cannot cancel the redness of the crystal in close proximity with the red rose, we cannot cancel the upadhis because the jiva is consciousness associated with the upadhis. You understand? It's the three bodies. So the jiva atma, it's colored by the attributes of these five sheets or three bodies. But what the jiva can do is through this process of discrimination, following the logic as presented by the Upanishad, is to understand that these five sheets, these three bodies are upadhi, and it happens that the properties of these inert three bodies or upadhi, five sheets, the properties of these three bodies or the five sheets, it appears to have transferred to consciousness because the jiva-atma, has as a upadhi the three bodies or the five sheets. You understand? And then it appears to be transferred to the jiva-atma. Jiva-atma is atma, but the same way that the crystal appears to have taken the color of something that was close to it, atma appears to have taken on the colors of these five sheets, of these three bodies, which is defined by properties, attributes, qualities, functions, and everything. And it is slightly different for every constitution, for every jiva, right?
Right. I mean, it's, I don't know about everybody else, but
I think you got it right. You got it right. It's a very subtle teaching, and when you described, you seem to have got it right, and I want to just add some more clarity to it. I hope I did not make you more confused by trying to do that,
No, I'm nodding my head, and but you can't see it. So,
okay.
It's an upadhi.
Yeah, it's a good teaching. It's a very subtle. It's a difficult teaching. It takes quite some inquiry, some reflection, contemplation. It took a long time for me until I understood it. Okay.
Yeah, I think, definitely not in the time for this one. Yeah.
So does anybody else has anything to say about the upadhi? Jiva's upadhi. Okay. Is everyone hearing me?
Yes, for me it's better now.
Mark,
Yes,
can you?
thank
Mark
you.
is hearing me.
Yeah, I'm hearing you much better. Thank you, Arlindo.
Great. I'm glad to know that. Okay. Let's see. The upadhi appears. When we think that we are the body-mind, that is the upadhi of Maya appears. When we believe, when we take ourselves to be the body mind, and then the Upadhi of Maya appears. What is the Upadhi of Maya? So all the names, colors, and forms of the universe. So that is the readiness of the rose that is transferred to Ishwara, and Ishwara appears as the totality of name, colors, and form. What is this? Someone is knocking here. I don't understand. Okay. Okay. So the notion of the individual gives rise of the notion of the world of perceptible objects. For what is the individual if not the separation of perceived objects in two categories? We covered it last week. I want to begin by this paragraph. I think we stopped in here. When the individual is negated, what happens to the totality of objects when the individual is negated? When you negate the sense of individuality, which is nothing but the identification with the attributes and properties of the Upadhi, Jiva-Atma identifies with the qualities and properties and functions and the talents and notions, ideas. And
You're really breaking up, Orlando. I'm not hearing anything.
I also don't hear nothing.
Okay.
Arlindo.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello. Let me tell you one thing. It's a very, very difficult day here with a lot of rain.
Quando c'è la rain, salta qua, quello lì salta qua, salta anche un po' qua.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's give it a try then. If it stops again, I suggest we transfer our class of today to tomorrow. Does anybody like this idea or not? Does anybody or everybody like this idea or not?
If you think you can improve the internet by tomorrow, great. But
Yeah, no, I
it
mean,
doesn't give you much time to make a change.
no, I'm not going to get another one, but today there was a huge storm here, and it's common that when the storm, because the internet I have here should be as good or better than the other one, but it has been raining so heavily that that often it affects the signal here. So I'm to understand. Oh, now again my connection is unstable. You understand, Dave? Can you hear me?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good?
I can make tomorrow too.
Okay.
Yes, tomorrow works for me.
How about you, Dave?
Yes, I can make tomorrow work.
Okay. And how about you, Lynn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Also for me.
Okay, Claude. So we have
Me also.
we have everyone on board here, and I did not hear from Ruth. Ruth, can you do it tomorrow?
Ruth? Maybe she dropped off.
She's still.
No, I'm here. Yes, I can do tomorrow.
Okay, and then let's do that because
I can do tomorrow.
It is frustrating to be breaking and stopping and repeating and not seeing you,
Yes.
not knowing,
Yes.
not knowing that
tomorrow.
I'm being heard. Okay, so we leave it for tomorrow. Thank you,
Yes.
and if you are willing, we meet again tomorrow. Much love.
Okay.
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 Ciao.
Okay, thanks, Alinda.
Okay.
Ciao.
I'm
Bye.
ending the meeting there.